Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to discuss Mercury retrograde. As you know, usually I don't do Mercury retrograde videos because it's really happened really often, and really many times most of us really don't have that much impact, except really we need to pay just extra attention to our schedule, to definitely what comes from our mouth. And when we travel, even though Mercury represents traveling, this particular Mercury retrograde, it's very unusual. I would say we didn't have this type of Mercury retrograde for quite some time, at least closer to 20 years. I will tell you why. Of course, this year we have a 4 Mercury retrogrades. Usually it's about between 3 to 5 times, depends on the year. This year we have a 4. It's usually normal. I remember previous year we have even 5 Mercury retrogrades, but this year we have only 4 Mercury retrogrades. Now, Mercury retrograde, it's happened. It's basically what's happened with Mercury retrograde. Before I'm going to tell you the full picture, because we cannot just talk about Mercury retrograde. So much going on. Remember we have most of the inner planet, which is the closer to the Earth. They're all in the process of retrograde, and they all right now getting to the place of rest, not necessary to support us. They're almost like letting us to be on our own and to see how we're going to behave with all the influences. And it's really not easy time because this year Mercury retrograde in 2023, it's occur only in fire signs, which is we're talking about Aries, we're talking about Leo, and we're talking about Sagittarius. So we already done with Aries, the initial Mercury retrograde, which is we had, so let me see, when was exactly the first Mercury retrograde we had in April 21st to May 15. Yeah, this is the first Mercury retrograde we had. Okay, it was in Aries. It was quite experience well had. Every time when Mercury retrograde in the fire sign, it's definitely required of us pay more attention what come from our mouth in our reactive system. Now, making those, vulnerable people who more vulnerable to that is definitely fire signs, and people who have Mercury retrograde combusted or blind by sun. And if you know your chart, if you don't have strong Mercury retrograde, you're going to feel really this type of Mercury retrograde we're going to have on this period of time, right? So we're talking about now we're entering right now, as you look in the sky, I'm sharing with you, you can see the Mercury, it's in his stationary position. So before Mercury start to retrograde, and so to say, to back off, because Mercury retrograde, it's not necessary he moves, he's stationary, and then he starts to little bit to go a little bit further from our vision as well, and everything else still move, and it's actually going a little bit back up. So it's all about our homework, right? It's all about what we really need to evaluate. Now look at the sky right now. You can see today I'm making the time of Mercury stationary. It's his last day before he's going to start his retrograde, which is we're talking about August 24th. So on August 24th, and really pay close attention what's happening in the sky, because it's really, really important things happening. They all connect to our lunar nodes. Why? Because what is really Mercury? Mercury is the planet of communication. And what is the communication? It's relationship. And where we do have our lunar nodes, it's in Libra and it's in Aries. Both came here to teach us what is relationship, what is the communication, how sharing we are, how much we know to stand behind the scene and let other person shine, how we really, what does really love represent for us? Because really communication, it's how we experience the nourishment. People don't really think about it, but it's much, much bigger picture, because our mind, when our mind separates from our heart, it's a chaos. Person cannot live in balance, in alignment, when his mind, his moch, we say in Hebrew, do not communicate with lev, with his heart. In this case, what start, it's almost like you have a bipolar. It's called astrological bipolar. When you feel you don't really balance with what comes from your mouth, how you react immediately to the things, and how you don't know how to restrict and how to learn to observe. So my number one tip for everyone for this particular Mercury retrograde, this is the time when you really need to play to be really movie director, like a zoom out and to observe. Zoom out and observe. It's really, really important. Now, a couple of things I want to explain to you what's going to happen, because during his retrograde, he's not just going to retrograde during the retrograde, he's going to be combusted by sun. And this is probably one of the most difficult positions, especially for people who teach, people who in media, people who the main source of income and main living, it's actually communication. Those people especially need to pay close attention if they trying to pretend to be somebody they are not, if they trying to lie because they need to make money or because they need to pretend certain things. Extremely important, because the Saturn will be aspecting the Mercury during the combustion period. And I wrote down for myself when is the combustion period. And by the way, another thing, while Mercury is going to be retrograde and combust by Sun, which is burned, what is the combustion? It's when he's going to be really, really closer. I'm going to change sky very soon, so you're going to see. When Mercury is going to be combusted by Sun, the time we're going to have, I think it's September 4th, we're going to have Jupiter start his retrograde position for a very long time until next year. Very important, right? Because Jupiter, in nutshell, it represents our happiness and optimism. What we really how optimistic we are about everything, how what lessons creation send us. Very important, because really, I'm going to make a separate video with regards to Jupiter, because it's going to be extremely important. It's going to connect to really a lot of miracles and mind over matter we need to use in order to connect to those miracles while Jupiter is going to do his move. Now, on August 31st, from August 31st, we're going to have, yes, August 31st until August 12th. The Mercury, let's go to August 31st, guys. Let's move. I'm just going to move like that, so you're going to see what is really Mercury retrograde. Let me show you. You see, now we have Mercury 27, now it's 26, and you see it's retrograde. He started retrograde. So let's move to August 31st, and you will see exactly what's happened with the Sun. Okay. So now Mercury getting closer to the Sun, and let's see when he's going to be the most combusted by the Sun. So already by end of the August, we need to really pay attention. On top of the Mercury retrograde right now, right? And because of the fire sign, because of the Leo, when he started retrograde, Leo, with all the positive aspect of Leo, one of the heaviest klipa Leo have, it's definitely klipa of pride. Gia, we say in Hebrew. And it's considered, according to ancients, one of the heaviest things for us to work is the pride. Because what is really pride? Pride, it's very concealed. And it's one of the aspect of our tikkun process. Tikkun is our incarnation, our correction. We came to work. It's when our pride touch, it's become very personal. This is when ego really hurt. And this is when ego really start to protect. And what really important this period of time, Leo's, especially Leo sign, and all the fire signs, including Geminis and Virgos, this is your Lord, your main planet, please pay closer attention how you deliver information. And when you speak in your family, because each of us gonna be affected by different house. And again, this Mercury retrograde, look what's happened here. What's happened in the sky? We have Jupiter. We have Saturn, Shabtai. We have a Tzedek in Hebrew, Jupiter. Shabtai in Hebrew, Saturn. We have Mercury, Kochav in Hebrew. We have Venus, Noga, all of them in retrograde. And we have a Sun in Leo, which is going to be even more activated war energy inside of us. And remember, we're right now in the time of Yemei Tshuva, time of repentance before Rosh Hashanah, and it's the main new year for our souls. Do not listen to. You can listen whatever you want, but when people make announcement of the new year, the main new year, Cyrus, yes. Cyrus, very important. It's usually 18, 19 of August every year. It's used to be considered in Mesopotamia by Shomrim and by Babylonians, main New Year. But Creator didn't choose Cyrus as a son, as a superior for the system. Creator choose, Cyrus. He choose son. Abba, Av. So, and it's connected to the areas. So it's always connected to the areas because the areas and Leo, they very, very exchange of the energies with each other. I'm trying to philosophically explain to you because my channel, it's not about prediction. It's about really to help you to understand how to work with the energetical force of each planetary combination. And by end of the video, I'm going to share with you most important tools was given to us directly by Creator, not by somebody who told somebody and finally it's arrived to us. We're talking about Yudki Vavki, the name of God, and how it's changed for each sign, and how it's influenced each sign, and how we can control with the Hebrew alphabet the energetical force of each sign, because each sign, each planet created by Hebrew alphabet and specific letter responsible for DNA of this particular astrological body. And instead for us to go everywhere and try whatever, why don't we go to the root? Why don't we go to the source in order for us really to influence and to understand how we as the walking gods supposed to control and not to be slave of it, okay? Lola? So this is really, really important. Now, I'm going to show you. Let me go a little bit further. Let's look what's happening here. What exactly the day, it's going to be the day. Don't make special appointments. Don't have important meetings. Do not sign any documents during the Mercury retrograde for sure. But these particular days start from August 31st until September. Yeah, there you go. The Mercury already. Okay. September 6th. September 6th, this is when Mercury going to conjunct Sun. You can see here. And they have a position of Saturn. You understand? It's a position of Saturn. It's really, really important. But you know what's interesting about this particular conjunction? If you really, really know how to use, this is the day when you can get a lot of blessings by really knowing how to connect to Mercury, while Mercury going to be directly communicated by Sun. Because what is really Mercury? Mercury, when he's special retrograde, he becoming like a rebellion Sun. And he's the first planet under the Sun. So we need to ask why Creator decided to put Mercury directly under the Sun. Is the closer planet in the solar system under the Sun. It's called scribe, the translator of all other planets, what exactly Sun wants to say. It's need to go through the plasma of Mercury. And then from the Mercury, it's going through the Venus, Mars, Moon, it's all, but first Mercury. And Mercury in Hebrew called Kochav, Death Star. Okay, very important. What we have in connected to Mercury, what holidays? We have, first of all, we have a holiday of Shavuot. Is the center column energy, is the holiday where we celebrate Torah, giving of the Torah. King David connect to the sign of Gemini. It's really, really important energy. And it's the only sign that represents two humans, right? Which is us. We have inside of us at least two people, or some of us have 10. We better to come at least to two, to try to to our mind with our heart, this is the two identities most important we came to understand in this human body. You understand? Really, really important. Let me see what else we have. What else we have here in the sky, which is I wanted to tell you. So while, I told you while it's going to be combust, so in this transit, Venus and Saturn going to have a combust, and both will be influenced by Mercury. So communication. You remember my previous video I made? And I start my video by telling you, as less you speak, especially during this period of time of months of Elul, before Rosh Hashanah, is better outcome will be. Because while we're holding our thoughts, instead to say 20, you choose to say only 3, and guess what? You can have almost 100% better outcome than you're going to say too many words, and you're going to lose personal attention, and you're going to lose the energy and the purpose of the message, and your own mission, what you really want to accomplish. Very, very important. Now, Leo is all about dramatization. It's a sign of dramatic, because it's represent theater, it's represent game, it's represent lion as well. So while Mercury retrograde in Leo, even those of us who usually don't like, it's possible for you, you will be put in a position you're going to call white lies, but it's almost no white lies. So just be careful with this, because Saturn plus Mercury, it's going to really, because what Saturn does, Saturn right now in a retrogradation position before November 4th, extremely important time. And I know I promised you to make video on Saturn, which is I'm going to do this week. Bezrat Hashem Bli Neder. It's really important, because this is like the key of everything. If you ask me, Saturn is the key right now. But we have a lunar nodes in relationship who's going to change position in the middle of October. They're going to change positions to Pisces and to Virgo. Help us God. Okay, where we need to be ready for it. And I'm not here to scare us. I'm here for us to be ready and to be really understand the time we're entering in, right? We're entering even more and more light time, which is things whatever used to be concealed, it's becoming revealed, including our own self to our own selves, right? We need to be more open and transparent more than ever, because this type of combination of Saturn will be aspect in Mercury, while Mercury will be combust by Sun. It's the lies, cheating, hidden truth behind the scene. Things gonna come out. Oh my God, which is good. We need to all see really, in order for us to heal ourselves, we need to know what we're dealing with, right? So to say, to face our own other side we all have, we need to be very strong, and we need to be aware, because one of the biggest tricks of Satan is to convince us that he does not exist. And his work, extremely important work, because without darkness we cannot see the light. Same in the sky. You look in the sky, you see all the beautiful stars, but the only reason we see them because they are in the darkness. So same thing. And we look at the Torah, the portion of the Torah, we see all the letters reading with the black ink in order for us to reveal the light. So there's even discussion, what more important, the letters actually written on the Torah, or the background of the letters, the parchment, right, which is made from kosher animal skin. Okay, really, really important. So definitely I don't recommend for you guys do any important plans. If you travel, you can travel. Just pay attention, just, and you know what? Keep in mind, while you travel, just just make sure you will be adaptable and don't be in shock of any delays or anything happen. Just smile, accept, and do the best you can do. Okay, don't waste your energy, because remember, the other force leave from our energy. They leave every time when we're reactive, every time when we have a lack of trust in creation, and we don't see the full picture. This is exactly where the other source really comes to the picture and sucking our energy. We need to understand, we need to really, really be strong spiritually. Spiritual person, it's not to be just to be sweet and polite. Yes, the spiritual tact extremely important, but equally you need to be strong. And when it's time to accumulate everything, because we are in a war. It's called War of Gog and Magog, war of our thoughts. And what Mercury represent directly represent our thoughts as well. This is how important Mercury is. Very, very important. I'm going to show you the letters and explain to you how exactly you can control what's really happening in front of us. Okay, so let me let me share with you what I want to recommend for you guys when you're going to have. Let me come back. Let me come back to the scene. Yeah, when you're going to do the screenshot of this combination, make sure if you're going to print out, make sure you never put in garbage. It's never open, and it's just open. You always, in very respectful place. Never take this to washroom, okay? Because it's the names of God. It's one of the most powerful combination we have. Look what we have here. Let's go to Leo directly. So the Yudki Vavki. So this is how in the Yudki Vavki, it's Yud. Really, each one, when we pronounce in one, we never pronounce Hey. We pronounce it because the full abbreviation of tetragrams, it can be done only during the prayer, inside of the prayer. But when you're using the name outside the prayer, you change Hey to K. So again, it's Yud, and then we have Hey, and then we have Vav, and then we have Hey. I'm doing this because I'm doing and between. Now, what you should do in the morning, especially if you do Anabekor, you need to imagine, I'm going to give you tip, the breathing exercise. Very, very important. It's going to help you tremendously. Every morning when you wake up and you're doing your prayers or whatever meditation mantras you do, and if you believe in Hebrew alphabet, if you work with the Zohar, there's nothing more powerful. It's a DNA of the creation. So we're going to connect to Leo energy through the energy of name of God. And you're going to close your eyes. You're going to start breathe in by inviting first two letter. We're talking about Hey and Vav. So you're going to do breathe in slowly. You hold it. And even slower, you're going to exhale, which is breathe out, Yud and Hey. Do 12 times this breathing exercise. By the way, it's confirmed by science. I was watching Andrew Huberman. You probably, a lot of you heard about him. He's a neuroscience. He's a really amazing guy. He actually shown the studies about this breathing exercise. Is slow you breathe in, and even more slow breathe out. You actually helping your heart almost rejuvenate for this moment, and this is how you're making your mind calm. I will try to find this video, perhaps to put under my video. So I really recommend for you to watch. It's very amazing. But now we're using even higher. We're using the name of God by doing this. Okay, now each of you knows where in your own natal chart you've been challenged by certain sign. Okay, so look at this chart, choose the Yudke Vavke on the sign you need to get control of. Use this. This is the practical tools given to us by Kabbalists, by tzaddikim, who themselves used it. And this is how they knew how to be in control of mind over matter, and how to be in control of the reality, because everything is energy. It's all about atoms. Everything, even the material we have, the table, everything has a soul, and it's built by movement of the atoms. So it's really important. And just to appreciate for us what is really Yudke Vavke, you see Yudke Vavke, it's a numerology 26. And there's so many things we have, with numerology of 26. But one thing we need to remember, we have word ahava, love, it's numerology 13. Okay. And we have another very important name, which is Aleph, Hey, and Bet and Hey. It's another thing, it's connect. So double Ahava, it's 26 Yudke Vavke. Very important. What else we have Ahava? We have one, Echad in Hebrew. Unity is 13 as well. You understand? So the Yudke Vavke represent Ahava in unity. And what is the unity? When we united with our mind and our heart, with our cells, our white cells and our red cells, because the white cells, which is very important, but we all have cancer cells in our body. The only time the cancer cells start to become superior and activated, and when we have disunity. Because why? Because what is the cancer? Cancer, even in nature, cancer is as a creature. It's never walk straight. It's walk on the side. The same thing with cancer cells. They spread on the side, but only they spread on the side when we have a separation inside of us. So Yudki Vavki, extremely important. Another thing I want to give you present. This is the DNA of each sign in each planet of Hebrew alphabet. So now, for example, so we have a Capricorn, sign of Capricorn, made by letter Ain, and the Saturn made by letter Bet, and then we have Aquarius made by letter Tzadik, and again it's Saturn by letter Bet. Then we have a Sagittarius made by letter Samech, and then we have Jupiter led, and then Jupiter by letter Gimel, and so on. Okay, so what you're going to do screenshot of this as well, keep with you. And for example, we have right now Mercury. Now let's go to Mercury. Well, this is Mercury, and look, Mercury is made by letter Resh. And what does the letter remind us? You remember the shofar, my previous video? There's no coincidence. Everything absolutely in Hebrew alphabet, it's represent layers of the layers of the layers of energetical force. Look at the letter P. What do we have inside of letter P, which is create Venus Noga? We have a Bet, Bracha. And what is letter Bet? Letter Bet create Saturn. Interesting. And what else we have letter Bet? The first letter in the Torah and part of Lev, our heart, Bet. Very important. What else we have? Bet and Lamed. What do we have in Lamed? Libra. Oh, Libra created by letter Lamed, which is connected to the left heart. So Bet, Lamed, together heart. And we have right now our notes in the Libra, which is really teaching us what is really relationship and what is not just to give. Giving and sharing two different things. So remember, we have all the tools in front of us. There's nothing for us to be afraid of. Fear create separation. Fear create doubt. What is the doubt? Doubt is directly connected to the letter, to the name, and to the force Amalek, Safek, which is what is the Safek? It's one of the worst things we can have. And what is the Safek Amalek connect to? To Libra. Why? Because Libra is one of the sign, Libra and as well Taurus is partially because it's a Venus Noga, because of uncertainty. Venus surrounded by fog. We don't have clarity. You understand the power we have? We need to use it. There's nobody come to save us. We are the ones who actually have all the tools. Creator gave us, the playground here. And what we're doing, we're abusing it. Look at the animal kingdom, vegetarian kingdom, mineral kingdom. Look what's happening in the earth right now. And it's not on the physical level. It started really, really long time ago, a long, long time ago. It's all about our thoughts. Remember one of my absolutely favorite statement I'm using all the time. It's Sof Maaseh b'machshava tela. Our thoughts create reality. We are super powerful. We need to understand we create ulamot, we create universes. This is how powerful we are. And this is not the first time we on the earth, and we create another earth. We create this in this dimension. We need to know how to use. Okay, guys. Let's come back to the sky. I'm going to share back with you. Okay. So, while again, just for us to refresh our memory, you see we have a Jupiter going to be already in his own transition in a retrograde period. He already start, so it's going to be effect as well. But again, the good news, right now, because we're going through the time of personal revelations and personal growth, please always remember, whatever we see, it's not reality really what's happening. We really live in a world of illusion. And as soon we realize and recognize that, and not just in the logical matter, really start to see and recognize, we're not going to give so much importance to so many things or other people or what they're saying, because we're going to be only focused on our personal growth and how we can impact the world and to make it a better place for us and for the generation to come. Because, we need to be spiritually selfish. Whatever generation right now already here and whatever generations coming in front of us, it's all us, our grandparents, all our ancestral lineage. It's us once. You understand? We're all connected. We need to remember that. So whatever work we do, they all depend on us. Our previous generation who came, they all benefit from our spiritual growth. We benefit from everything we've done before. And moving forward, we need to see what kind of better place we're going to live after us. Okay, guys, wish you many blessings. I hope this information benefit for you, and I'm looking forward to hear from you, and looking forward for my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like and to share. Thank you so much. All the best. Much love.
In chapter 2 we read, "And the Lord spoke unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, The children of Israel shall pitch by their fathers' houses, every man with his own standard, according to the ensigns." Now, for someone who is involved in astrology, at least the second two words will have a great deal of significance. You know about houses in charts, you know about signs of the zodiac, and so once you immediately translate correctly, we are not corrupting the word, because otot means signs, and levet avotam, your father's house, meaning houses, as there are houses in the study of astrology. On a very general basis, everything mentioned in chapter 2 of Numbers deals specifically with the aspect of astrology and what all the signs mean. There are 12 months. You will notice that each section of the 12 months, from a Kabbalistic astrological point of view, why are there 4? The 4 represent the Tetragrammaton, the most powerful channel by which we can control the cosmos. In fact, it's the only way you can control the cosmos. If we're referring to rising above the influences of the planets, if we're discussing rising above the influences of the signs of the zodiac, you must, as we will shortly learn again in the Zohar, you must have this kavanah. Kivun means you must know the structure of the universe, because as long as you do not know the structure of the universe, you cannot connect to these energy intelligences, because they are there for your bidding. To that extent, they are there for you to control them. They were only created, as it says in Genesis 2. Nothing moved. The plants were fossilized. Animals didn't move. The heavens didn't move. There was no rain. Nothing. The sun didn't shine. The moment man appeared, everything started moving. Why? To indicate to us that man is, in truth, the center of the universe, and he controls not only his own destiny, which he doesn't control for most people, but that he can also control the entire universe. The entire universe.